In the middle of Sproutwood Forest lived a tall, leafy tree named Twiggles. He wasn't just any tree. Twiggles could talk, and he loved telling jokes. Every morning, he'd shout, "Why did the squirrel bring a ladder to reach the high notes?" The whole forest would laugh. But one morning, it was silent. The great forest festival was tomorrow, but all the magic was gone. A brave hedgehog named Leela said, "Twiggles, we need laughter, or the festival will be ruined." Twiggles rustled his leaves. "Then we must make new jokes, and you will help me." So, the animals started making their own silly jokes. "What do you call a hedgehog in the rain?" "A prickle storm." With each giggle, the forest grew brighter. Sunlight sparkled and colorful mushrooms popped up. The next day, the festival was full of magic, all grown from their shared laughter. The forest learned they didn't have to wait for magic, they could grow it together, one giggle at a time. In the middle of Sproutwood Forest stood a tall, leafy tree named Twiggles. He wasn't just any tree. Twiggles could talk, laugh, and most of all, he absolutely loved jokes. Every morning, when the sun peeked over the hills, Twiggles would wiggle his branches and shout, "Good morning, everyone." Why did the squirrel bring a ladder to reach the high notes? The birds would giggle, the rabbits would snicker, and the squirrels would roll on the grass laughing. Twiggles's jokes were the sunshine of the forest. But one morning, the laughter was missing. The animals were gathered quietly, their faces full of worry. The forest felt strange and still. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Twiggles looked down and asked, "Why the long faces? You all look like a bunch of wilted daisies." No one answered. Finally, Leela, a brave little hedgehog, stepped forward. "Twiggles," she said softly, "the great forest festival is tomorrow, but the forest doesn't feel magical. We need laughter and fun, or the festival might be ruined." Twiggles thought for a moment, his leaves rustling. "Well, what do we do when things are gloomy?" he asked. "Hide," squeaked a tiny mouse. "Sleep," yawned a sleepy rabbit. "No," said Twiggles, his voice full of warmth. "We tell jokes." He shook his branches, sending leaves fluttering down like confetti. "But Twiggles," Leela said, "we've already heard all your jokes." Twiggles smiled gently. "Then we must make new ones, and you will help me." The animals exchanged nervous looks. Could they really make jokes? Twiggles lowered a branch encouragingly. "Laughter grows when everyone adds a little." So Leela stepped forward first. "What do you call a hedgehog in the rain?" she asked. "A prickle storm." The animals giggled, and Twiggles's bark seemed to brighten. A squirrel jumped in next. "Why don't trees ever get lost?" he chattered. "Because they always root for each other." Twiggles burst into booming laughter that made apples fall from his branches. Soon, every animal joined in. They made up silly jokes, weird jokes, even jokes that didn't make much sense. And with each peal of laughter, the forest brightened. Flowers uncurled their petals, sunlight sparkled through the leaves, and colorful mushrooms popped up like little buttons. By the next day, Sproutwood Forest was gleaming with magic again. At the Great Forest Festival, Twiggles stood tall and proud as animals danced, sang, and shared their new jokes. Twiggles saved his best for last. Why did the forest win the talent show? He paused for effect. Because it had the best roots in the audience. Everyone roared with laughter. From that day on, Sproutwood Forest never waited for magic to appear. They knew they could grow it together, one giggle at a time. And Twiggles, he still tells jokes every morning. And every morning, the whole forest laughs right along with him. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.